Alright guys, we are back again with a new video with the title Trump collapses mentally at rally, completely goes genocidal. So the title seems interesting. The video is by David Pakman Show. Please make sure to check the original video link in the description as well. And I'm from Asia. I'm interested in US politics. I do reaction and political videos of US. If you're interested in politics, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll give my review in the end of the video. Please make sure to watch the video full. So let's dive into the video without wasting any time. Here we go.
Let's go next to Durham, New Hampshire, where the former President Donald Trump suffered a total mental collapse and went fully genocidal, using phrases normally attributed to Nazis, the KKK, apartheid.
I never
South
seen a video
Africa,
about Biden, like he collapsed mentally at rally and everywhere.
Milosevic. You are not
I don't know why.
To believe this, or maybe the problem is that
everyone is criticizing
maybe the problem
Trump.
is that it's too believable, that we've already become desensitized to it to some degree. Donald Trump giving a gong show speech in Durham, New Hampshire, saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. They're coming in from South America and they are poisoning the blood of the country. I'll tell you who used to use
He's against some migrants.
Listen to this guy and listen to the bloodthirsty crowd. They love it.
Country, when they do that, we got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about.
What do you think about migrant issue? Please comment below.
Country, from Africa, from Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country. Nobody's even looking at them. They just come in.
He says
the crime
everybody's terrorist. Yes.
Terrorism is going to be, and then we built a tremendous piece of the wall, and then
people nodding, people screaming, build the wall. So let me tell you who uses phrases like poisoning the blood of our country. The Nazi regime under Hitler in Germany used this racial purity rhetoric. And Jews and Romani people and others had unclean bloodlines, not like the Aryans. The KKK in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, especially in the 20s, used this same language to promote white supremacy. The African Americans, Catholics, Jews, immigrants, they aren't pure in blood. In apartheid South Africa, you would hear the South African government under apartheid talk about, we need racial segregation because we need to maintain racial purity. It gets muddled and mixed in a dirty way when you mix racial groups. During the Rwandan genocide in the first half of the 1990s, the Hutu extremists would use similar language to dehumanize the Tutsis, depicting them as unclean cockroaches. And Slobodan Milosevic, the former president of Serbia and Yugoslavia, used very similar rhetoric about ethnic groups like Albanians and others. They have dirty blood. The ancestors of many of the MAGA people that now support Trump certainly at some point fought against this exact sort of thing, whether it was in Germany or Serbia, Yugoslavia, or wherever. And Trump then doubling down on this on Truth Social, posting, illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our nation. They're coming from prisons, mental institutions from all over the world. Without borders and fair elections, we don't have a country. Make America great again. Full on genocidal rhetoric.
Yes.
Trump then switching to something he knows very little about, talking about wind turbines. He doesn't like immigrants, and he doesn't like wind turbines.
By the way, you know, the one thing about climate, so we fight like hell, and they put up all these windmills all over the place that if you add the cost of rebuilding, and they're all rebuilt, you know, in China. They're all built in China and Germany. And they said, let's assume you're a big believer in this. They send big fumes in. So you add it all up, and it's terrible. You can't get rid of the blades. They only last 10 years. The energy is the most expensive.
Look at this Gish Gallop, by the way. How many claims is he making? This is wild.
10 years. The energy is the most expensive energy you can do. They kill all our birds. If you want to see a bird cemetery, go under a windmill sometime. You'll see birds like you never saw. If you love birds, you'll start to weep. But it's just the craziest thing. They ruin our plains and fields. They're killing our whales. You know, the whales are coming in. I think we had one whale come in 50 years. This year we had like 12.
It came in. The whale came in. So listen, so many misstatements there. I don't know. Maybe this comes as a shock, but not everything that Trump said there is true. You know, it's all half-truths, and there's some kernel somewhere in there. Lifespan and disposal of the turbine blades, that's a concern. It's getting better every year. We're going to get way better at it if we invest more rather than less. Impact on birds, that's true. I've talked about it before. You can reduce the impact on birds dramatically by painting some patterns on the wind turbines, very cheap to do. And also the impact on animals in general is way smaller from wind turbines than when you have to obtain, refine, transport, and burn fossil fuels, which kills so many different animals.
Yes.
The cost of wind energy, it's actually one of the most cost effective and efficient. It is true that there's a high initial investment in the wind turbines, but that continues to come down, and it's actually not the most expensive. And it all is just kind of nonsense. It's all very nonsensical. Trump continuing, then talking about criticizing Biden about the economy, even though the economy's setting records, and then Trump refreshing his prediction that under a next Biden term, the economy would be really bad.
Banned people from coming in that weren't good. The Biden administration is running on the fumes of the great success of the Trump administration. They're just
So the good numbers now are still thanks to Trump.
running on the fumes of what we did with the tax cuts and the regulation cuts. Without us, this thing would have crashed to levels never seen before. And if we're not elected, we will have a depression, the likes of which you haven't seen since the Depression of 1929.
Now remember, he makes that threat or prediction after the stock market hit an all-time record high and unemployment is at record lows for this sustained period. Trump made the same prediction before Biden's first term, the 1929 style depression. Didn't happen. So now he's simply making it again. Trump says that the 4 years he was president were the best 4 years he can remember.
No, New Hampshire wants a president who will never betray you, who will never forsake you, and who will never sell you out. You're not going to be sold out. And you know that because for 4 years I was your president, and you had the greatest 4 years that you've ever had.
Now, you may or may not recall that Donald Trump's presidency saw some of the greatest job losses of any presidency in history. And then lastly, Trump can't get away from these speeches without at least doing a little praise of dictators. Here he is praising Chinese President Xi for how he ruthlessly controls 1.4 billion people.
The whole thing is not believable. Can you imagine President Xi of China, powerful kind of a guy? They hate when I say that. Oh, you're saying nice things now. He controls 1.4 billion people rather ruthlessly, right? Can you imagine when he sees this guy?
Trump so proud, so impressed, so enamored with these strongmen dictators. So Trump's speech in Durham, genocidal ambitions, obvious lies, dictatorial promises. And we are now starting to see the dictatorial fantasy trickle down to the MAGA supporters. Let's look at that next.
This was a video. There were two main points. One was migrant issue and the second was the economy. So what do you think about migrant issue? Do you agree to the policy of Trump about migrants? Because in this world, every country accepts migrants. That's not a big deal, bro. And the other thing was, he was saying like economy is not going well under the Biden, but the reports are saying economy is just, great under Biden. So what do you think about economy right now? I saw the speech of Trump. He was also saying right now US is just a mess. US is not a great country. So he was, pretending to hate the US just like that. So what do you think about this issue, about his speech, about the economy, about the migrant issue? You can tell me in the comment section. I'm waiting for your comments. And please excuse my accent. I'm not a native speaker. So if you're interested in politics, I do reactions on political videos of US. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.